Welcome to Dark Tower Month for a comic a day, and I'm doing something a little differently this month. We're about halfway through this run of videos, so by now you should know that this month I'm featuring my partner in crime, Criff.
Hey audience, I missed you.
From the Bard and Criff vlog channel, where it is linked in the doopity-doop.
And please watch the video to get the joke that I just made for the opening of this.
And get Patreon so you can understand when me and him make a joke about the Coos Cooter checker.
No, you left at least one in.
I know, I need to give the people something. So, format is a little bit looser with analysis throughout the recappy bits of this month. So, massive spoilers are massive for everything Dark Tower related this month. You've been warned. So, we pick right up where Treachery ended with Roland, son of Stephen, the youngest gunslinger around, fainting after he shot his mother dead. Her ghost speaks to him, begging his forgiveness before he awakens. He suddenly realizes what he's actually done. All while his mother still clings to the handcrafted belt that was her gift to him. But it's too late to save her life. Roland has officially killed his mother.
Matricide!
So, the ghost thing was kind of weird.
It's part of the course for this universe, though.
That is true.
I mean, when you think about the amount of ghosts that we've run into throughout the book series.
Yeah, but technically none in the comic series.
Yeah, well, we had to shoehorn them in somewhere.
Then I think they just wanted a way to, get her to say more than, Roland, I love thee, as her final words. Which was actually really poignant considering how much hate he shot his mom.
Right, and that
for being such a hoe.
And that she still loved him, and she had even made him this gift as an apology.
Elsewhere, Eileen, Elaine, and Cuthbert bring the corpse of the court minstrel to the morgue, which is in, the tallest tower.
Well, you gotta get the stink away from everyone somehow.
While they're doing their thing, Elaine brings up that he notices that Roland and Eileen left the party early. But she defends herself, saying that they just went to talk about Susan and everything else, mostly. However, she didn't bring up that it was the screams of, oh my god,
that brought them running back.
Before they could get the freak on. Get the freak on.
No. They kissed once. And then Roland ran away, and then Roland needs to run away, and then they can get they freak on. Get they freak on.
As Missy Misdemeanor Elliot would tell. Bert, being our resident jackass, brings up that, come on, even her charms are more than that of a dead girl. Which Elaine gives him a pretty stoic, backhanded slap to the head. It's on my Facebook because I'm going to start using this in my memes.
And it's much deserved because you don't speak ill of the dead. Especially when her lover was Roland, because he'll shoot you.
But in them talking about this, Elaine and Bert realizes that Roland thinks his mom is evil, so off they go to investigate. Elsewhere, Stephen, Court, and his men are searching the court minstrel's room, looking for more clues of his treason. Yet they find nothing.
Because we just can't get away from the treachery overtones.
They find nothing until literally a pigeon just flies in with a note saying, hey, by the way, this dude's the bad guy.
Yeah, good timing on carrier pigeons. There's a reason they're not used anymore.
But yeah, the message is, pretty much going, okay, now go collect the grapefruit, which obviously he can't. Sure. Stephen fears not, since he had the key to his safe in his pocket, but it's not in his pocket. Yep, his lovely wife picked his pocket for it. Now, Stephen is on high alert, posting men all along the walls and having checkpoints at every entrance and exit. Stephen then leaves with his guards. Court and Vinay, I'm gonna say Vinay.
You say what you want.
Stay to search the room some more. This is actually where there's a great scene where Court and Vinay talking about how Court's actually like, holy Christ, I think Gilead's falling. Which really adds to his character.
Yeah, he realizes what's going to come. He realizes all the infighting, but it's because he's seen it before. He's, that battle-hardened, I've been through so much shit, tough guy, that it's just building more onto him.
Because of all this, Court tells Vinay to, hey, brah, step out the room. I need some me time. Stephen goes to his room with his guards and sees his safe wide open. He calls for the arrest of his wife. Court, pondering alone in the trader's room, finds a loose floorboard. Oh, it is in this one.
It's later on.
With a journal and all the information they'd ever need in it. He thumbs through the pages, but when Vinay comes back, feeling it was enough time for his friend to compose himself, Court is dead. The pages were poisoned and now Court is, technically he's not dead, but the way they drew it and how they act is that he did. But we find out he's not quite dead in the next issues.
He's dying.
Yeah.
What happens is... And I still don't understand the concept of this.
Of the pages being poisoned?
Right. Because there would have to be an antidote. Otherwise, he couldn't write in this frickin' journal without nearly killing himself.
Don't worry, I'll talk about that in the next one because it is brought up.
I may have skimmed over it then.
It's just one of the lines, so if you are just skimming...
If it's one of the big exposition dumps, like the
Exactly,
narrative boxes, I skim through those.
Yeah,
because there's just...
And that is a negative towards the comic as a whole, which we'll get to at the end of the month, where we will do an overview. That'll be technically a binging on comics, but it'll be for the entire month. Yeah.
Just a giant recap of this overarching story arc.
And we end with Stephen of the Line of Eld going to his wife's room only to discover his son, crying over her bloody body. So, Treachery started strong, but there's a reason why I think it got really jumbled by the end. It was trying to be the bridge series from Hambry's fiasco to this.
Which we talked about at the end of Treachery.
Which is why here is a razor sharp foot forward. It's not cutting through, it's not going cutaways to try and mangle up the storyline like in Treachery. It's going, okay, here's what happened in Treachery. Here's the fallout while we continue to build to the fall of Gilead. So you can see where the fall's coming from, as well as why we had to slog through Treachery.
It's still, though, with Treachery being as weirdly paced as it was and with everything being weird cutaways, it still wasn't a slog.
Oh, no, you're right. I shouldn't have said slog. I do mean that it was still a good read, but...
Yeah, it was just... It was a confusing read.
So this, I actually think that the Fall of Gilead, at least where we're at in this, because we have, pretty much read most of the series at this point, is really a good payoff. However, Treachery is where I stopped reading when I discovered, that these came out last year or 2 years ago. It's on my Facebook, whatevs. So I'm actually kind of sad that I did stop, because here I get that feeling again. The, oh man, what's going to happen?
The build up, oh my god, this is becoming something.
But I'm also really sad that, Court may be dying. I was actually...
Court dies. I knew Court was going to die.
Everyone but Roland is slated to... Spoilers! He's the last gunslinger.
Spoiler alert. The next series is called... Well, this one is called The Fall of Gilead.
The next one is the Battle of Jericho Hill.
But, guess what happens in The Fall of Gilead? Everyone gonna die.
Well, technically not Erewhon.
Just about Erewhon gonna die.
And while the gunslinger's chasing after the man in black, even though last issue they brought up, oh man, I want to find the tower... He didn't want to find the tower. He wanted to find Walter O'Dim. No, he wanted to find Martin Broadcloak.
But, like you brought up, and we find out in another issue, he does want to find the tower, because he does know what the tower does.
But we don't know. My sinus is just collapsed.
We know, and Roland knows. But I don't know if the overarching people who are going to be reading this know.
Anyways, we've spent a lot of time on this, so come back tomorrow as Roland has some splaining to do.
Roland, you got some splaining to do.
I don't know.